There's a moment in every life when everything falls apart. The relationship ends. The dream dies. The foundation you built crumbles beneath you. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can numb it, avoid it, run from it, pretend it isn't happening, or you can let it break you open. Because here's what most people don't understand. Pain isn't the problem. Pain is the invitation. It's not here to destroy you. It's here to transform you. Every great philosopher, every spiritual tradition, every person who's truly grown has discovered the same truth. The things that break us are the things that make us. This is about why suffering matters, why resistance prolongs it, and why the only way out is through. We live in a culture obsessed with comfort. From the moment you're born, you're taught to avoid pain, to seek pleasure, to fix problems, to optimize your way out of discomfort. There's a pill for sadness, a distraction for grief, a strategy for every kind of suffering. And the message is clear. If you're in pain, something is wrong. But what if that's backwards? What if pain isn't a malfunction? What if it's a signal? The ancient Greeks had a concept called pathemathos, learning through suffering. They understood that wisdom doesn't come from comfort. It comes from confrontation, from being forced to see yourself clearly when everything you've built is stripped away. The Buddhists teach that suffering arises from attachment, from clinging to what must change, and that the path to freedom requires facing that truth directly. But we resist. We avoid. We do anything to keep the pain at bay. Not because we're weak, but because we've been taught that pain is the enemy. That if we feel it, it will consume us. That if we stop running, we'll drown. So we numb. We distract. We stay busy. We build elaborate lives designed to keep us from feeling what's underneath. And in doing so, we stay stuck. Because the pain you avoid doesn't disappear. It accumulates. It festers. It runs your life from the shadows. The only way to transform it is to turn toward it. Carl Jung said it best, what you resist persists. The emotions you won't feel don't go away. They grow stronger. They demand more energy to keep buried. You push down grief and it becomes depression. You suppress anger and it becomes resentment. You avoid fear and it becomes anxiety. Think of pain like water. If you try to dam it up, the pressure builds. Eventually, it breaks through, often at the worst possible time, in the worst possible way. But if you let it flow, if you allow it to move through you, it passes, not immediately, not easily, but it passes. The Stoics understood this. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the obstacle is the way, that the thing standing in your path isn't blocking you, it's teaching you. When you lose someone you love, the pain is the love with nowhere to go. Avoiding it doesn't honor them. Feeling it does. When a dream dies, the grief is your attachment to how you thought things would be. Resisting it keeps you stuck in the past. Accepting it opens the future. When you fail, the shame is your ego protecting itself. Defending it keeps you small. Examining it helps you grow. This doesn't mean wallowing. It doesn't mean letting pain define you. It means giving it space, acknowledging it, saying, "This hurts," and that's okay. Because when you stop resisting, something profound happens. The pain transforms, it doesn't disappear, but it changes shape. It becomes wisdom, empathy, strength, depth. This is the first truth about transformation. You can't skip the pain. You can only choose whether to feel it now or feel it later. and later always costs more. Here's what pain does that nothing else can. It strips away the false self. When everything is going well, it's easy to pretend, to perform, to maintain the image of who you think you should be. But when life breaks you, when you lose what you thought defined you, all the pretending falls away. You lose your job. Suddenly, you're not your title. You're not your salary. You're just you. Your relationship ends. You're not someone's partner. You're not half of a couple. You're alone with yourself. Someone you love dies. And all the small things you worried about become meaningless. Pain forces you to ask the questions you've been avoiding. Who am I without this? What do I actually want? What have I been pretending not to know? And those questions are terrifying, because answering them honestly means admitting you've been living inauthentically, maybe for years. But that terror, that's the doorway. The philosopher Søren Kierkegaard wrote about the concept of angst, the anxiety that comes from recognizing you're responsible for creating your own meaning, that no one is coming to save you, that your life is yours to build. Most people avoid this realization. They stay comfortable. They follow the script. But pain doesn't let you hide. It demands truth. And in that demand, there's a gift. Because when you're forced to let go of who you thought you were, you create space for who you actually are. The identity built on external validation crumbles. And underneath, your real self. Raw, messy, uncertain, but real. The mask shatters. And for the first time, you see your actual face. This is the second truth. Pain is a teacher. It shows you what's real, what's false, and what you've been too afraid to become. Every culture has a myth about transformation, and in every one, transformation requires death. Not physical death, but the death of who you were. The phoenix burns to ash before it rises. The butterfly dissolves completely in the cocoon before it emerges. The seed must break open in the dark soil before it becomes a tree. This is what pain does. It breaks you down to your foundation, to the parts that are actually you, not the performance, not the persona, you. And that breaking is necessary because you can't become someone new while clinging to who you were. You can't transform while still protecting your old identity. The caterpillar doesn't get to keep being a caterpillar and also become a butterfly. It has to let itself dissolve completely. This is the dark night of the soul, the liminal space, the in-between, where you're no longer who you were but not yet who you're becoming, and it's terrifying. Because there's no ground, no certainty, no map. Just faith that on the other side of this dissolution, there's something new. The psychologist William Bridges called this the neutral zone, the space between endings and new beginnings. Most people panic here. They try to rush through, to go back, to force something to happen up, but you can't rush transformation. You can only surrender to it. You can only trust that the breaking open is making room for something bigger. And then, eventually, it happens. Not all at once, not dramatically, but slowly. You look up one day and realize you're different. You see differently. You want different things. You're living from a different center. The pain didn't destroy you. It refined you. It burned away what was false and revealed what was true. This is the third truth. Transformation isn't about improvement. It's about becoming. and becoming requires letting the old you die. So what's on the other side of pain? What do you gain from walking through the fire instead of running from it? First, you gain empathy. Because once you've been broken, you recognize it in others. You stop judging. You stop dismissing. You see their pain as real because you know yours was. Second, you gain resilience. Not the false confidence that nothing bad will happen, but the deep knowing that if it does, you'll survive it, because you already have. Third, you gain authenticity. When you faced your worst fear and lived through it, you stop performing. You stop caring what people think. You just show up as you are. But here's the deepest gift. You gain meaning, because pain forces you to ask, why am I here? What matters? What do I actually care about? And when you answer those questions honestly, everything changes. You stop wasting time on what doesn't matter. You stop tolerating what drains you. You start building a life that reflects who you actually are. The writer Viktor Frankl survived Nazi concentration camps, and he discovered that the people who survived weren't the strongest or the most optimistic. They were the ones who found meaning in their suffering, who decided their pain would serve a purpose. You don't get to choose whether pain comes, but you do get to choose what you do with it. You can let it harden you, or let it open you. You can let it make you bitter, or let it make you wise. You can waste it, or you can transform it into something that matters. This is the final truth. Pain is neutral. It's what you make of it that determines whether it destroys you or remakes you. So let's bring it together. Pain is the doorway to transformation, not because it's good, but because it's honest. It strips away the false self. It forces you to see what's real. It breaks you down so you can be rebuilt differently. What you resist persists. What you avoid controls you. But what you face, what you feel, what you walk through, that transforms you, not immediately, not painlessly, but completely. And on the other side, you're not the same person. You're deeper, wiser, more compassionate, more real. You've been to the underworld and returned, and that journey changes everything. So here's what I'll leave you with. What pain are you avoiding? And what would happen if you finally turned to face it? Not to drown in it, but to let it teach you, to let it transform you, to let it make you into who you're meant to become. Because the doorway is always there, waiting. The only question is, will you walk through it? If this resonated with you, subscribe and keep watching. We're exploring the mind and transforming lives, one insight at a time. Thanks for being here.